Hey everyone, in this video I wanted to compare two innovative stocks and answer which one is the better stock to buy. The two stocks I'm going to compare are Nikola stock and Quantumscape. Of course, these are very new and up and coming companies with little revenue, and in fact I will show that. So I'll compare these two across 5 financial metrics and then finally answer which one is the better buy, starting with revenue. So let's get right into it. If you look at revenue, I have both of the companies pulled up here, and only Nikola is showing revenue. That's because Quantumscape has yet to deliver a product to market. Now it's going to try to get one out by the end of this year, maybe next year, but that remains to be seen. The company is in research and development. Testing has been excellent for its solid state battery, which makes it more convenient to charge electric vehicles. Nikola has already started putting trucks out on the road. It's trying to get more, although in the most recently updated quarter, production came down because of a fire at the manufacturing facility. But, to make the point, these two are very new, haven't established themselves yet in terms of revenue, products, profits are way down the line. So it's a lot of innovation right now and very little to show for it. So when you have a company like that, one of the more important things to look at is how much cash do they have, because they're going to need that to get their product to market. And looking at this metric, Quantumscape has 241 million in cash on hand, while Nikola has 121 million. And as you can see, cash has been dwindling, has been coming down. That's understandable because they're not really generating the amount of revenue they will when they're fully ramped up. So now that we looked at how much cash they have, the next thing I want to see is how much cash they're going through every quarter, right? So I want to see how much longer they have with the cash they have on the balance sheet, or are they going to need to go out and borrow more money, raise more capital? And so Quantumscape has went through 62 million in cash from operations in its most recent quarter. Nikola went through 180 million. So if we look back at cash, Nikola went through more money in the most recent quarter than it has on hand. So it cannot continue at that pace. It will need to go raise more capital in the markets, or it needs to reduce spending in order to make this cash on the balance sheet last. Meanwhile, Quantumscape has 241 million in cash, and they only used 62 million in their most recent quarter. So at this rate, they have roughly 4 quarters to go before they're going to need to tap into capital markets to raise more capital. So they are in a safer position in terms of liquidity compared to Nikola. Another thing I like to look at in companies with this position, where they're going through cash and their negative cash flow from operations, is average diluted shares outstanding. And this shows me how much the company is diluting shareholders. How many new shares are they issuing? And in this metric, Nikola has increased shares outstanding from a little less than 400 million all the way up to 550 million. Similarly, Quantumscape has increased its shares outstanding from around 250 million to 440 million. So each of these two companies have done a good deal of shareholder dilution, and I would not be surprised if they need to do even more to get their products ramped up and to the point where the business is self-sustaining. Finally, I chose to look at forward price to sales ratio for valuation. This is very difficult to do with two companies which have yet to really ramp up sales, especially with Quantumscape. But when looking at the forward 1 year, we at least get an outlook of what sales could be like over the next year. And according to this metric, Quantumscape is trading at a forward price to sales of 679, while Nikola is at 1.92. Now this comparison is not very meaningful. It's just the best I had to use, given that Quantumscape hasn't really started generating sales just yet. What you could look at is the potential for where it could be several years from now. And what you could compare it to is what Nikola is at, a forward price to sales of 1.92. So given all of the things we've looked at, given everything I know about these two companies and their prospects, if I had to pick one of these two innovative stocks today, I would pick Quantumscape. I would pick Quantumscape. Now, I will say both of these stocks would be very risky and it's highly speculative, but if I had to pick one, I would pick Quantumscape. Alright, but that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.